right before the Iowa caucuses, Rick Santorum made a very questionable remark about welfare. When asked about welfare, he decided to talk about black people. Let's watch.
I don't want to make black people's lives better by giving them somebody else's money. I want to give them the opportunity to go out and earn the money.
Now, that's been getting a lot of heat for obvious reasons, because they didn't ask him about black people. They asked him about welfare. And in the state that he was in Iowa, 84% of the people who receive food stamps are white. Okay, it's an 84% white problem. Now, Iowa is largely white, but that means that, yes, most of your welfare recipients are white. Why are you talking about blacks? Because, of course, in his mind, all the blacks ever do is take a handout, but in his munificence, he wants to be able to have a situation where black people can actually earn a living on their own. Look at all those horrible assumptions behind it. He's been criticized for that over and over now, as he should be. So he claims he didn't say what you just heard him say. Let's watch.
I've looked at that quote, and in fact, I looked at the video, and in fact, I'm pretty confident I didn't say black. What I think, I started to say a word and sort of mumbled it and changed my thought. But I don't recall saying black. No one in that audience, no one listening, no reporter there heard me say that. I think it was, and from everything I see, and I've looked at it several times, I was starting to say one word and I sort of came up with a different word and moved on, and it sounded like black.
You didn't say black, you said blah, 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 blah. Really? Well, let's take a look again.
To make black people's lives better, black people's lives better, black people's lives better, black people's lives better.
That seemed like black, okay? It wasn't just blah people's, it was black people's, black people's. And by the way, what was that? You said you changed it mid-sentence. Well, what were you gonna say? You were gonna say black, right? And your big excuse is, I was basically gonna say black, but then I had thought better of it all the way through this, the word, and decided to just kind of go black, blah. That's your big excuse? No. Besides which, play it again, Jayar. Play it one more time.
To make black people's lives better, black people's lives better, black people's lives better, black people's lives better.
See, saying that you didn't say black would make you a liar, okay? And the other thing is, why? How stupid are you? Why are you bringing up this issue? I mean, I know you got asked about it, but you should say, hey, I misspoke and move on, or whatever you want. You know what? You should use a statistic I just used. I shouldn't have said that. That was obviously, terribly wrong statement, because obviously food stamps in Iowa, for example, goes 84% white, and I'm glad somebody pointed that out. And you move on. Instead, you come up with the worst excuse in the world. I didn't say black people, I said blah people. Let me go to our blah correspondent, Jayar Jackson.
In both of the, he interviewed about this a couple times. Bill O'Reilly asked him about it, and also, as you said, he was on CNN talking about it. And when I first heard it, before he was asked about it a couple days ago when it came out, it sounded like it was a mumble type of thing to me too. And I was like, was he saying black? And he kind of swallowed it once he realized what he was saying, but he went through it so smoothly. I was kind of puzzled. That's why I didn't jump in before about this, because I was like, I wonder if he was thinking something else and accidentally said it. And you know what? I buy it.
You're buying what he's saying?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I knew that'd be. I knew it was gonna be a little bit of a shocker to everyone. But seriously, and the thing is, because I don't need to go off of if he thinks black folks are on food stamps, because he's an idiot on so many different other things. I said the same thing about Ron Paul. But I don't know, man. It does. I don't hear the black. I hear the black people. Who knows what word he was gonna say? But it does sound like it was a hiccup in his speech.
Oh, that's fascinating. Let's go to our Mexabla correspondent, Jesus Godoy. Yes, Jesus, what did you hear?
I mean, I can't believe it's even a question. It's definitely black people. He said brown people? No, he said black people, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's Jayar with a fascinating opinion there. And Jayar, does it make it any better if it's black people?
It just the part just kind of came with when it comes to maybe he was gonna say lives better, people's lives. Oh, who knows? I don't know what he was thinking, but what I mean is he handled it badly, because, as I was saying in both interviews, which makes my argument shaky. I understand, because he went to say it's the typical response. You know, I work with black folks in this community. I've done so many things for the African Americans. I don't even say black on normal conversation. I always say African American. He said this to all these people. That was the continuing part of his explanation. So all those things, you know, when someone says, my best friends are black, then you look at him with the side eye and go, really? Really? You mean the one that you're talking to right now? So he said all the wrong things in explanation for it, but hearing the way he said it, it didn't seem like it to me.
No, look, if I were to be incredibly merciful, which I'm not going to be, but if I were to be, I would say that if I were to accept your point of opinion, he was going to say black, thought better of it in mid-sentence, but didn't have anything else to say, so kind of paused for a second and completed it, which, by the way, none of which I hear. I just heard him say black, and that's it, right? But even if I were to grant you what you're saying, so he realized he was going to be an idiot mid-sentence or mid-word, and really couldn't change it in time. But you know, one thing I will grant you this, okay, and we talked about this on the Current show. I think that Rick Santorum wasn't saying it on purpose to get racist votes. I think he said it because that's what he believes. When you ask him about welfare, he thinks, well, that's what black people get. When you ask him about, you know, government handouts, he doesn't think that's what the bankers get. He thinks that's what black people get.